Welcome to Word 2010 Creating Tables. I'm Aaron Barbie. In this video lecture, we'll be talking about several items relating to tables in Microsoft Word 2010. The first item we will discuss is the concept of tables. Then we will look at several ways that you can insert them into your Word 2010 documents. We will cover various modifications and features that will help you adjust the look and feel of your tables, and then we will wrap up with other options that are available with tables in Microsoft Word 2010. The first thing that we're going to talk about is the concept of tables, period. If you've used Excel 2010 before, you know what columns and rows are. You know how the information is organized in a nice orderly fashion. But if you prefer to use Word 2010, you might like the table concept because it allows you to stay in that application but still achieve the nice sorting and organizational features that Excel provides. Some of the other things that are available in Excel that we find in tables in Word 2010 include various formatting options as well as headers to help your information stand out and provide for data analysis. Another thing to keep in mind, if you don't like Excel that much, but you do a mail merge in Word from time to time, is that you can use a table in a Word document as your data source for a mail merge. So let's take a look at some examples. What are tables exactly? Looking at a snapshot from Excel 2010, we can see the headers and the rows and the columns and the labels and so forth. And the bulk of our information is the data that we have in the spreadsheet. Taking that concept and moving it into Word 2010, we see the exact same set of information, but in a table in Word 2010. It looks more like a regular Word document. You don't have all of the extra column and row headers, whereas you have the labels across the top, and that's it. Something else that you might run across are website tables. If you're exporting information from a website or you are copying and pasting information from a website, it might look like this here, where you've got alternating rows and bits of information in columns and in rows. We'll talk a little bit later about what you can do with a table when you've copied and pasted it into a Word document. But this next example here is what that same information looks like, pulled from a website and then pasted into a Word document. You can see it looks very similar, but now we have some formatting options because we are in our Word 2010 document screen. Inserting a table. There are two main ways that you can insert a table, minus the copy and paste method that we just sort of hinted at when dealing with a website. The two main ways that you will insert a new table and work with it inside of Microsoft Word 2010 are the click and drag and the manual methods. The first method, click and drag, starts off on the Insert tab in Microsoft Word. You'll locate the Tables group, and inside of there is only one option, and that's the Table drop-down. Inside of there are lots of options, and we're focusing on all of those empty squares up top, and that would allow us to create a table via the click and drag method. By moving our mouse down within the grid, in this case over the 4x4 section, we can come up with a sample table for our Word document that covers, in this case, 4 rows and 4 columns. Clicking on that spot where we see the arrow gives us a 4x4 table in our Word document. The second method is the manual method. It starts off in the same place, the Tables group inside the Insert tab, up in the ribbon in Word 2010. We click on that same drop-down button, but instead of engaging the grid and the empty squares up top, we're looking for the Insert Table button down below that section. Clicking on that gives us this dialog box for Insert Table, and instead of dragging our mouse around to find the dimensions that we want, We manually adjust the number of columns and rows, in this case 5 and 2. Click OK. And our 5-column, 2-row table is then inserted into our Word document.